Hello, this is John Schwander, also known as the All Grain Gamer. And I'm here with,
Dexter.
And Phil?
and this is Project KZAV picking up August 27th or 26th.
Yes.
Um,
Apparently, I forgot to
last-
say D well.
yes,
Sorry.
we can.
Phil pointed that out to me.
That's no problem. So we've been mostly just touching base for the past month, and we set out to create some levels with our editor and get started on the actual building of the game sort of stage. Anything you guys want to bring up that you've worked on in the past month?
The levels. I have to get used to the level editor. I'm not used to just like pressing the buttons on the keyboard to change it. I'm always used to just like moving the mouse over to another menu, closing that one, and going back to it. It just takes a long time. Other than that,
Yeah.
I actually do. I make the levels pretty quickly.
Yeah, it doesn't take too long once you get into it. The amount of shapes kind of starts limiting what you kind of can't do.
Yes.
I'll need a few more just to make things pretty.
Yeah.
But before we get fully into it, we have more concept art for Rose.
Oh snap!
I want you guys to take a look at that and see what you think. Let me know. We
Yeah.
have 3 Rose files. The 2 roses is the one that I already shared. So everything else. Now you did bring up some concerns earlier this month about using the other rose than the one we went with. I never did ask her to do 2 roses,
Mm-hmm.
so we only have the one that
That we picked.
we went with. Yeah.
It's just really just like never thought from a female's perspective what they'd
Mm-hmm.
think is a better looking one. Well, not better looking, or just like more fitting of a character, should I say.
Yeah.
But with the side view, doesn't her concern just goes away. Front view, it looks like her
Yeah.
her boobs are bigger. The side view, it's
Hmm.
Maybe if this character was like 3D, then it would be okay. But having just like a front view, you don't really see that.
Okay. And what do you think of the pictures we got?
I like him. I can't really complain. It's really like she looks like a detective. So
Yeah, I really like some of the faces she has on the character sheet. Just the heads. With the
Okay.
hat. I like the hat. I don't know, what do you guys think? Hat, no hat?
I can go either way.
yeah,
It works.
both of them work.
And what about color?
I wouldn't go with the right one, but the other two work.
The right one like
I-
has their clothing.
Just the coloring. I think the light blue isn't strong enough for her.
I like the purple.
It always happens. I'm
You in the middle.
kind of in the middle.
I mean, I have no problem with the middle. I just
yeah.
I think the middle is more of a guy's look.
Yeah, I'm more on
So
the
if you-
right and middle. I don't like I think the purple's too loud.
That might just be your screen, because on my screen it looks more like a black purple.
Yeah, his looks a lot darker.
It is a dark purple.
No,
Um,
but his looks like mine's lighter, a little bit, much
Mhm.
lighter purple than his is. Actually, all of my things look a lot lighter than his picture does.
The picture I'd see, I like the purple one, but then that might not be what the actual color is. My only concern
I like the darker hair
to
too.
bring up with these is she really doesn't have any distinguishing features for pixel art.
Mm-hmm.
The pinstripes we can't do.
Yeah.
The holster in the foot we can't do. The buttons.
Well, that depends how big our characters are. I mean, we can't visually represent it, but we could show her like kneeling down to get her gun.
Right. I mean, we can show it, but walking
Yeah.
around, a lot of the details in here kind of go away for the pixel art.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if there's something we can do for that. Because in that situation, we should keep the hat.
So I'm
I'm
guessing
not
it's
sure what
me.
we're saying about the one you like.
Hmm?
What were you saying about the one you like?
Me?
Yeah.
Wasn't really anything special. I just like the purple. It would also help with the pixel art, I guess, because having the color changes makes her stand out a bit from like Kevin, Xylo,
Yeah.
and
I don't think we're gonna have anything else
Let's
purple
see.
in the world, so
Yeah. Though I want to bring up that our pixel art can change because pixel art was a limit in our abilities to be an artist. If we do find an artist, which we'll get into a little bit later, then our abilities are going to have to change with what they're good at.
yes.
So we might actually end up having 3D models in a non 3D world.
are you hinting at something?
Nope, just keeping the possibilities open. What do you think about the hair colors?
I don't like the one on the left.
Don't like the orange.
Yeah. Who has orange?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one either.
No one has like orange hair unless they dye.
Yep. I like the middle, personally. The middle hair. The dark orange.
The middle of the right, it's like tied, but they're both really good. So I have no problem with either.
I think we should go for the darker one to keep it away from Lexi's.
Yeah, having two blondes would be weird.
Though she will have a hat.
She will have
That sounds like the dark hair. The dark orange
Yeah.
is best. Alright, so that covers the art, our artwork. Now onto our created levels. The parameter setup was we would make 2 levels each that were 2 minutes in length. And we got 6 levels, though one is a test area. It's not really anything special, and then Phil did 3.
Yeah, they're not really anything special, but they're just ideas of elements. That would be fun.
My level 1 is really annoying. That could be a time trial too if you wanted to be. One part.
Actually, we got 7 levels. My bad. Now, what did you guys run into when you were making the levels? How'd you find building them and coming up with errors and suggestions and all that stuff?
I crashed a lot.
I never crashed.
crashed
I crashed it at least like 40 times. Luckily, when you crash it, it auto saves. Didn't know that.
I don't know that either.
I didn't know that either. You full on crashed it?
Huh?
You full on crashed it?
Like, well, not like my computer, but
But the program?
the program itself would crash.
Oh, I did have this.
I only crashed it once, and that was in the old build when I was messing with autosaves and changing files.
Nah, I was
Oh,
fine.
what'd you
A whole
do?
bunch of issues. Apparently, when you have the circle, the draw circle one on, and you double click, error, crash.
Basically, the error was if you make any of the shapes of a size 0, it doesn't like it.
Oh.
But that's all fixed in the new one.
And then sometimes while it's just randomly jumpy, crash. I don't know.
That one's interesting.
I don't know why that one happened. That was just weird. Oh, if you make
You were randomly jumping and you crashed?
yeah,
The whole thing crashed, or it just froze?
no, just crashed.
Oh,
Like
wow.
an error message came up.
You should have shown that one.
Did you have any dynamic things on the level?
No, he doesn't.
They
He
might
didn't
have
know
done
you can make dynamic things.
No.
Oh, that's all that.
The whole entire time making the most boring levels. So I try to make them interesting, so they're super hard.
Yes, as your frustration earlier will test too.
Just play level 1. That's the hard. That's a really hard.
I used a lot of dynamics and tried to like hide things that would try to keep them interesting because some of it was like boring.
Mm-hmm.
So things would go off the side. You might miss it, you might not. Depends how fast you are. But those are things to look out for. One of the common issues was jumping into things and then you would do a whole bunch of silly things. But that's been fixed, right?
Yes,
Completely?
I hope so.
We'll see. I might
Did
break
you
it
also
again.
address that when you jump into something with momentum, you kind of launch yourself up further than you would?
Oh, yes, that should be fixed.
Like if you're running and
If
then
you
jump?
you shouldn't be able
Mhm.
to jump off the side of anything anymore. You have to land on top of something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But try it. Let me know if it's still there.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. For our created levels, here's what we'll do. We'll play each other's levels. The settings don't save, but that'll work out for us in the beginning. We'll play the levels that aren't our own. Try to find the settings we find that we like. Then on the drive, there's a file that will say the settings, and then you play the way they designed it and those settings they had when they made it, and see what you prefer. And then we'll write 3 things we liked about the level, 3 things we didn't like about the level for each level.
Ookie?
Sweet.
And we'll try to have that done by next week. That'll be our big thing.
Alright. I can play test stuff during this week. It's a good way to start off school.
Yes, it's the hardest part would probably be coming up with 3 things, depending how long the levels are.
Depending on what class I'm taking, I might do it then.
Yeah, we're gonna have to discuss schedules sometime in the future when you guys have an idea.
Uh-huh.
Now, for the drive files, most specifically, how often is the build being updated and uploaded?
It's going whenever I have enough bugs fixed to classify it as important.
And
So, like, the last one I put out was the jumping is completely fixed, so I deemed that was important enough to get out quickly. But if it's little things that are like how Dexter found if you make a shape of 0 size, it crashes, I wouldn't release that until something else was put in it too. So you shouldn't be doing
Alright.
that anyway.
Yes, it was by accident, but it was just like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
the plan is later on to have a actual like bug reporting system that will have stuff classified as important or critical, and then good or not important, or can release as, and then we'll
I love
work
that
on uploading
one.
the build about that. Yeah,
Oh,
like we don't have time.
what is this?
That's just like a silly one. Like if you tap left and right really fast, Kevin starts dancing randomly. Yeah, we can leave that in.
Yes.
But if there's like bugs that crash, should probably be fixed and uploaded early. And the main point is when something is uploaded, We need some sort of notifications system so that we all know.
Okay, I can text you.
Because I was working with an old build and crashing.
Does it texting?
That new build helped.
Texting.
Yes. But like if you upload something in the middle of the night, maybe send out an email, tell everyone it's up.
Yep, I can do that.
I check my email.
Yeah. You check your school email daily?
Yeah.
It's connected to my regular email.
Alright. That's right. But yeah, if any of us ever upload something and it's like the middle of the week, or we won't wait for the meeting to announce it, we'll just send out an email.
Gotcha.
Yep. And then we're gonna need to like we're gonna need to be more consistent and quick with our feedback, because like I don't want to scare you, but I'm getting really worried at this point because we have 4 months left, and based on the 4 months of what we did, we'll have to cut a lot of stuff to make our release. Like at this moment, I'm seeing that the alternate characters to play as is a possible thing we would have to cut, and that feels kind of huge.
A little. Yeah. I really don't want to cut that though. Like,
Yeah, I don't either, but it's one of those things that I'm just looking at, like, we might have to cut this.
Will that be like a levels issue or
We might.
a
It's-
art issue?
Art is still a big issue, but it's just the build engine and the levels issue. Like, what we have so far, we're not doing horribly. Our preference of kind of work at our own pace has been working the best. I mean, Dexter, you've done a lot for this project. You've got a good amount of direction, probably the most put into this. Phil would be second with the build and how much we can do with it. And we're making good headway. I want to try to flesh out the GDD soon, get that finished. But I'm also thinking of putting in a schedule system, like within 1 month, the Kevin levels are done. Then another month, the RTS overworld level's done. Next month, we work on the side characters, and next month, we just bug test. Some sort of scheduling, some sort of deadline, so we have an idea what we need to do, rather than just going through a weekly meeting, assigning tasks each week, and then going from there.
Wait.
That's something I hope to have out soon. When I do put out a schedule like that, I'll talk with each of you and we'll all see if it seems realistic, if it seems doable, if there's any concerns or issues, and we'll change it as needed.
Gotcha.
But we need like just these little milestones to drive to.
Mm-hmm.
For the side levels, how many levels are we having per, let's say, act? I don't know how to actually say, like,
Yeah, I get what you're
I think
saying.
we were looking at 5, right? 5 temples.
We were looking at 3 temples, 2 side levels,
two sides.
and the final level would not have a side level. So it'd be Act 1 would be the jungle temple, and then the jungle side area. Act 2 would be the medieval temple and the
Medieval.
Renaissance side area.
Yeah.
And then the third was the colonial temple and city side area, something like that.
I don't think it's
Or no.
city. I think I changed it
No,
to
that would be the
six.
third. That would be the final one. That'd be the end one.
Yeah. No, I meant just for the side characters, though. Do they each...
Yeah, that's for Kevin. For the side characters, I was looking at just 2 levels. I mean, having one for her act would be nice, but it's going to come down to time. And how do we approach levels? Do we make unique levels, which is kind of what I was leaning towards when we first discussed it, or do we just reuse Kevin levels and repurpose them for the characters?
I like unique levels.
I do too, especially since what we discussed last week. Phil, you weren't here for the story, but we did send you a summary of it. But like we had a whole unique story for what the levels would be. Like Rose would be in a factory or a warehouse. Lexi would be in an abandoned temple.
Okay.
So it wouldn't really suit itself well to reuse a Kevin level. But we'll have to see where we are in 2 months. I think by 2 months, if we can get most of Kevin's levels and the engine pretty much set for just making levels and actually playing the game, having enemies in, we'd be pretty set.
I think we can do that.
Though it does come to the artist is a big issue. We have a lot of assets we need. Especially with all the background, with all the changing scenery we have, that's could add a lot. So we're going to go character models, the first level for art, all the background,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll go from there. Now, but like we need to be consistent. We have to give good feedback quickly because there's just the three of us. I mean, we rely on each other heavily to get things done, and we need to know or just communicate as much as possible just to
Gotcha.
just like power through to feel that we can do this.
When should the story probably be done?
The story has come a long way.
Like, we already have...
I would say in maybe a month, if you had the pretty much everything written for just Act 1 or just Level 1, the jungle,
Mm-hmm.
you'd be set. If you can do it before that and then work on Act 2, that'd be awesome. You did express some interest in doing some music or sound prior.
I just don't know how to do it. Or, like, what thing to use for it.
Well, that's okay.
I thought you said that you also could do stuff like that. Or you had
Yeah, I really
interest
hope
in
to.
doing it.
At least have someone in the group do it, but this fact that I've been in school the whole time and you guys are going into school just now, that kind of worries me with how much time we have.
Mm-hmm.
Still think we have a 100% chance to have a good game out by December 20th, and I don't want to touch that deadline. I don't want to push it back. It's done when it's done. None of that stuff. When the deadline hits, we just drop our pencils, test over, see what we did.
Great school analogy.
Yeah.
Yep. Right in season. And then other than that, we only have the artist, and that we're going to try to do a sort of recruitment drive similar to how the project started. I'll see if I can get some flyers up, if you guys can network and meet anybody interested in art. Any kind of art, doesn't have to be pixel art, just has to be computer art generally. Can't be someone who likes to draw.
Yeah. Can you make that specific on the flyer then?
Yeah, it'll be well defined on the flyer. Probably like saying an engine or anything. That's if we do pixel, we'll put on seeking pixel artist. And we pretty well generalized as pixel, so we'll have to think on, do we 100% stick with pixel or do we just take what we can get?
Gotcha.
What do you guys think at the moment of that? You want to stick with pixel or just take whatever?
Take whatever.
I think take whatever.
Alright.
Whatever's quicker.
Yep. That seems like the best solution. And that should be it for what we have to discuss today. Most of our stuff's going to be independent, working on the levels, reporting bugs, doing our associated tasks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Getting things out.
Yep.
Getting crap.
I do want to ask, Phil, how long would you think it would take you to implement the enemies that are already written in the GGG for the first level? Like the scorpions, the dragonflies, and the heme and mecha bullfrog.
It depends on what you want them to do. If he wanted
Well-
to just like chase the player, then like 10 minutes.
All right, the Mecha Bullfrog. We'll worry about that last. If you can just do those three with the settings there in the GTD, like I think the Scorpions stayed in place sorta, but then came to the player once they came into a certain view, and the Dragonflies flew directly at the player. They were a flying
Yeah.
mid-air kind of enemy,
Um,
and the Heme were random. They were like a hunter. They would patrol area and then go after the player and take a few hits. Oh, also we'd need some way to fight.
yes.
Yeah,
That should be hard either.
I'd say just do a whip, a little whip, do just for testing purposes,
Yeah. Uh,
and make
I have
every
an
enemy
idea.
die in one hit, and we'll work with that.
Might be helpful that I'm also here too, because then I can see what he's doing.
Yeah, and he can let you play it for like 10 minutes. And you can find all the bugs.
Yep.
never
Is
any
it-
bugs.
Apparently, I'm good at finding bugs, since I crashed
Professional
my thing
bug
about
hunter.
50 times.
Okay, that wasn't supposed to be bug proof. It's supposed to be functional.
Yeah.
So there's only half.
He's an asset to quality assurance, for sure. Alright, well, if that's everything, we'll wrap up. It's been Project KZAV, signing off.